Okay, we're going to talk some algebra, doing equations. To start off with, there is no equal sign, right? There's no equal sign. So you're not setting this equal and solving for x, you're just combining things. You're just doing a little bit of stuff like, okay, these are like terms, so you add them together, you get 22x. Okay, you would be doing this one, 2x and 9x is 11x, but we're not solving for x, we're just combining like terms. There's no equal sign, right? Okay, 8y minus 14y is negative 6y, and you're done, okay? Here, that's negative 3y because you're doing 4 minus 7 on a calculator if you don't know it, and that's negative 3, and then y. Okay, over here, you can actually combine the like terms, right? The two x values, so negative 7 and a negative 5 or a minus 5 would be a negative 12x, and then you have a plus 9. Now, can you set these equal? No, not at all, okay? That's all you can do to this one, okay? You're not solving for x, you're just combining everything that you can, and you're done. Okay, here, let's see, 6. Okay, so these two we can combine, right? Negative 8 and negative 3 is a negative 11x, and then you bring the minus 2 down, and you're done. You're combined all the like terms. Okay, distributive property. Okay, this is where you multiply the one number by this one and then the same number by the second one, right? So 7 times 2x is 14x, and then 7 times 3 is plus 21. Now, there's no equal sign. You can't solve for x here. You're just combining like terms still. Okay, same thing here. 5 times 3x is 15x. And then 5 times 1 is 5, so you say plus 5. I don't know why, but a lot of people would say 5x plus 1 and be done. No, you have to multiply the 5 times both numbers on the inside. Okay, that's distributive. Okay, here, negative 5 times y, and then negative 5 times a minus 3. Okay, so negative 5 times y is negative 5y, and then negative 5 times a negative 3 is a plus 15. This is multiplying. When you multiply two negatives, you get a positive. Okay? Whenever you add two negatives, right? If you add two negatives, then it stays negative, right? It just gets more negative, okay? But we're multiplying here, right? So negative 5 times negative 3 is a plus 15, okay? So over here, we do this one. Distributive still, negative 2 times 4x is negative 8x, and then negative 2 times minus 2 is a plus 4, okay? All right. Combining some more like terms, we're almost there. I don't know why we're still doing it. I guess to show you more complex ones. Okay, negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3 is a minus 6. Okay, plus a 5 times x is 5x, and then 5 times negative 2 is a minus 10. Now we combine the like terms. Negative 2x and 5x we would combine, and it would be a plus 3x. Okay, negative 6 and negative 10 is a negative 16. Now, that's all you can do. Okay, there's no equal signs, right? So we're just combining like terms. Okay, you would be doing this one. Okay, negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. Okay, and 3 times x, positive, is 3x. Okay, 3 times 2, positive again, is 6. Okay, combine the like terms, right? These two, that would be a negative x, and then 8 plus 6 is 14. Okay, and you're done. All right. We're about to do equations down here. Okay, so over here, this one's tricky. A lot of people try to subtract first, but PEMDAS says to multiply first, right? Do distributive. Yeah, remember PEMDAS? Okay. Anyway, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay. So you do this first. You do this distributive. Okay. Negative 5 times that is negative 15x. And then negative 5 times a negative 2 is a positive 10. Then you bring down the 2 that you didn't use, and now you combine the like terms. Okay, this one keeps the negative, so it's negative 15x, and then 2 plus 10 is 12. And then you can't do any more, right? No equal sign. Okay, here, so you distribute, negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4x, and then negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. You bring down the minus 3 that you haven't used yet. Then you combine the 2 that you can. The negative 4x stays the same. Negative 3 minus 6 is minus 9. Okay, so you're done. Now we're going to do equations, right? Where you're solving for x or some variable, some letter. Okay, variables are letters where you can have a value. All right, so here we go. Okay, you're trying to get x by itself. That's the whole idea. You want it by itself, so you got to get rid of everything that's on its side. Now these are equations and they're balanced, okay? So you have to do the same thing to both sides, okay? The same exact thing, all right? And that's why instead of me saying I'm going to change the sign and move it over, I'm going to say this. I'm going to add 10 because negative 10 and a plus 10, they say cancel, but no, really, it becomes 0, right? That's how it disappears. Now if I do plus 10 to one side, I'm going to add 10 to the other side, right? Okay? So these cancel, and then you've got x left over, and then negative 2 plus 10 is a positive 8. Okay, so I got x by itself. Whoops. All right, so here we go again. X we need to get by itself, so how do you get rid of a plus 2? Okay, that's addition. Remember, you do the opposite, right? So if it's addition, you subtract. So you subtract 2. If you do it to one side, you do it to the other. Over here, this was a minus 10, so we added 10, right? Because this was subtraction, we do the opposite, which is addition. Here was addition, so we do subtraction, okay? So those cancel, and x, negative 12 and negative 2 is negative 14. All right, so here, this, if they're next to each other, there's understood to be multiplication, negative 3 times x. Okay, if that's multiplication, the opposite would be division. Okay, so I'm dividing by a negative 3. Okay, so if you do it to one side, you do it to the other. Okay, negative 3 divided by negative 3 is a positive 1, right? 2 negatives makes a positive, right? So you end up with 1x. Over here, it was 1x, but you know, you don't show them 1 because you don't need it. It's understood already to be there, right? Okay, so 1x, let me mark that out because it's just understood to be there. Okay, so that's x, 24 divided by negative 3. One of them negative, the whole thing's negative, so that's negative 8, okay? All right, so over here, everybody forgets this. Okay, 3's on bottom. It means it's divided, okay? If you want to get rid of a division, then you multiply the top by 3, okay? Put it in parentheses. If you multiply the top over here by 3, then you do it over here, right? So the 3's cancel. I don't like cancel. Really, it's 3 over 3, which is 1, okay? So the reason they cancel is because that becomes 1, and it's 1x, but I'm just going to put the x, okay? And then 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so anytime you have a number on bottom, you need to multiply the top by that same number and then do the other side as well by that same number, right? Okay, so this right here, you'd put a 2 on top and then a 2 here, and then those would cancel and you get x is equal to 8. Okay, so here, trying to get x by itself, how do you get rid of a minus 5? You put a plus 5. If you do it to one side, you do it to the other side. Okay, those cancel, you get x is equal to a positive 1. If you're not sure, use a calculator. You go negative 4 this way and then 5 this way, so it goes back past the origin, 0 or whatever, becomes 1. Okay, so subtract 12 from both sides, right? Okay, that's canceled because it's 0, so x is equal to negative 6 and minus 12, which is negative 18. All right, if it's negative, then you subtract some more. It's going to keep going left, okay, on the number line. All right, these are understood to be multiplied, so you divide by the exact same thing. Okay, because you want it to become positive 1. So you divide by negative 5, and then the other side you divide by negative 5. Those cancel, so it's positive 1. Okay, 15 divided by negative 5 stays as negative 3. When I'm negative, it stays negative. Okay, and we did that one. All right, so next page, here we go to two-step equations, right? Two-step equations. Like whenever I see that, I say, oh, okay, there's the x, right? I've got to get rid of the 6 and the 3. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is subtract 6, right, and then divide by 3. Okay, so I'm subtract 6, divide by 3. Here I'm going to subtract 6 and divide by negative 4. Here I'm going to add 8 and divide by 3. Here I'm going to add 5 and multiply by 4. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so get rid of the one that doesn't have the variable, right? He's by himself. This guy, these two guys always wait until the end to get rid of that 3 on that one, okay? This guy goes first. The one that's without the x goes first, okay? So if you subtract 6 from one side, you do it to the other. Cancel. Okay, some people like to put a line, okay? And then 3x is equal to 15. And then divide by 3, right? The opposite of multiplication is division. Okay, so those cancel, which really is 1. So x is equal to 5. Okay, right here, we're going to subtract by 6 and multiply by a negative 4. Okay, so we subtract 6 from both sides. Okay, that's negative 4x is equal to, that's 8. And then you divide by a negative 4. Two negatives makes a positive, right, when you're multiplying or dividing? Okay, so that cancels and x becomes negative 2, right? Okay, over here, we got to get rid of the 8 first, so we add 8 to both sides. Okay, so that's gone, and that's 24 is equal to 3r. Try to get rid of the 3. The opposite of multiplication is division, so that's 3. That's 3 here. Cancel that, and you get r is equal to 8. Okay, and then over here we get rid of the 5, so we add 5 to both sides, right? Okay, and then that cancels, and we get x over 4 is equal to, if you add those two, you get a positive 2, right? Okay, on a number line, it'd go negative 3 this way, right, to negative 3. Then all of a sudden it'd go 5 to the right and be over to 2, right? Anyway, you get it? Okay, so negative 3 that way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here, so that's 2. All right, so get rid of the 4 on bottom. You got to have a 4 on top, so you multiply by 4 on top. These two become 1 or cancel, and that's x is equal to 2 times 4, which is 8. All right? Okay, so going further down. Okay, so this one right here, all right, is adding 7, okay, to both sides. That's gone, and we've got 4x is equal to 24. Okay, divide by 4 on both sides, and you get x is equal to 6. What I would usually do is like, okay, I work this problem, you work this problem. I work that problem, you work this problem. So you can, on the video, you can stop it after this one, so you can work this one. I'll do this one, you work this one. I do this one, you work this one. Okay, however you want to do it if you're watching my video. Okay, so you can say minus 7, right? Mark that out. That's 0, right? If you add them, okay, you get negative 3x equals to 15. Divide by negative 3 on both sides, right? You get x is equal to a negative 5, okay? Once again, you got to get rid of the 6 first and then the 3 after that, okay? So you subtract 6, so it'll give you 0, right? Subtract 6 from both sides, cancel, and you get 3m is equal to 6, okay? Divide by 3, right? Mark that out. You get m is equal to 2, all right? And then here we've got, subtract the 4 from both sides, you get negative 12 over here, right? Those cancel or become 0. And then you bring down x over 3. Okay, you got to get rid of the 3, so you got to multiply the top by 3 on both sides. Okay, those cancel or become 1, and you get x is equal to negative 36. Okay, so now if you have a variable on both sides, you have to do something first before you do a two-step equation. You have to get rid of the smallest variable. Get rid of smallest variable if you have an x on both sides or a variable on both sides. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so mark here. You see how you got an x on both sides, so I get rid of the smallest one. How do I get rid of the 3x? Well, I would put a negative 3x. Why? Because 3x minus 3, right, would give you 0x, right? And 0x's mean there's no more x's left, right? So subtract 3x, and then you got to do it to the other side. Do the same thing to both sides. Okay, that cancels or becomes 0. You bring the 5 down, and then this one is 2x, and then you got a plus 1, okay? So now you got a two-step equation, which is what we did up here all over the place, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is get rid of an x and then do a two-step equation every time. Okay, so I get rid of the small one, this 1 here without the variable, so I get rid of that by subtracting 1, and then that's 2x is equal to 4, and then divide by 2, right? Okay, divide by 2, and x is equal to 2, right? Okay, here we go again. I would, like you would be working this problem if I were you, if you stop the video or whatever. Anyway, here, this is plus 3x, right? Plus 3x here, right? That would be 0x, so it's gone. And then I would say 4x, all right? And then that's minus 4, and then that's 6, okay? So I got to get rid of the minus 4 and then the 4 in front of the x, okay? So I add 4 to both sides, right? That's gone. Let me see and make sure I didn't make a mistake here. Let me see, negative 6, negative 4, add 4, that's 10. So 4x is equal to 10. Okay, it's going to be a decimal. Okay, you divide by 4, and you get x is equal to 2.5. All right, 2.5. It's okay to get a number, a decimal every once in a while. Most of the time I don't, but I don't leave them out. I make sure you get a few decimals. Okay, here, smallest x is the -2, right? A negative number is obviously smaller than a positive number, right? So I'm gonna get rid of that by adding 2x to both sides. So I add 2x here and here, that's gone. And then I've got a 5x minus a 14, and then I bring down the 6, right? Now I get rid of the minus 14, so I add 14 to both sides, right? Okay, that's gone, and I get 20 here is equal to 5x. Okay, so to get rid of the 5, I got to divide by 5, right? Okay, and then x is equal to 4. All right, okay, I'm going to do these down here. All right, smallest x is this one, all right? Okay, so you would subtract 3x from both sides, right? And that's gone, and that would be 4x plus 2 is equal to 14, right? So we got to get rid of the 2 and then the 4, right? So we subtract 2 from both sides, and we've got 4x is equal to 12. Then we divide by 4, and we get x is equal to 3, right? Okay, so here, which one do we get rid of first? Well, this one, right? So how do you get rid of a -2x? You say plus 2x. Why? Because you want it to be 0x, okay? So there's be no x's. Okay, so those cancel, and then you added 2x to both sides, right? Okay, so that'd be 5x. I'm about to yawn. Good grief. Okay, so that's -16 is equal to 4. Okay, and then I'm going to add 20 or 16 to both sides, right? Add 16 to both sides. That'll be 5x is equal to 20. Then divide by 5, right? And then x is equal to 4. Okay, one more. Get rid of the smallest x, so we add x to both sides, right? So that's gone. You got 3 is equal to 5x plus 18. Which one goes first? The 18, right? So you subtract 18 from both sides, and that becomes -15. If you don't know, use your calculator. And that's equal to 5x, and then get rid of the 5. So x will be by itself, divide by 5. Okay? And that's gone, and you get x is equal to -3. All right, so we just have 4 more problems, okay? Or 6, sorry. All right, so here, multi-step equations, okay? This is the kind where you have a bunch on one side that you got to combine before you finish the problem. Over here, this is the kind where you have a bunch on both sides. You got a left side and a right side that you have to clean up, okay? Oh, a bad line, okay? So the left side's the only one you got to clean up on this one before you start the problem, okay? So you're going to combine the like terms. You got 3x and 5x, that's 8x, right? Okay? And then 6 minus 20, if you do those two together, you get, that's -14, and that's equal to 10. Okay, now it's a two-step equation. You can keep going. Okay, you get rid of this one first. So you add 14 to both sides. Okay, that's gone. You got 8x is equal to 24. Then you divide by 8, and x will be 3. Okay, all right. I'll do another one like that. Okay, y'all could be doing this one and then hit pause. Hit pause and do this one. Anyway, so 7x and 3x is 10x. -5 and -15 is -20. Is equal to 30. Okay, so we keep going. Add 20 to both sides. Okay, that's gone. You get 10x is equal to 50. Divide by 10. Okay, and then x is equal to 5. Okay, all right. Then over here, like I said, both sides have to be cleaned up. Okay, left side, you work on it. Okay, you distribute, right? So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times -4 is -12. And then you've got that plus 2x to bring over, right? Put the equal sign. And then this one, you could go ahead and combine these two, right? And have x plus 4, right? 6 minus 2 is 4. And then I got some more cleaning up to do over here, right? These two can combine. The 3x and the 2x can be 5x. We're not subtracting 2x from both of these. That has to happen to both sides, okay? All we're doing is combining the like terms. Okay, what is 3x plus 2x? Well, that's 5x, right? Let me see. Yeah, there it is. It's 5x, right? So that's what I did here. The 3x and the 2x is 5x, and then I got to bring that -12 in, equal to x plus 4. So left side's cleaned up, right side's cleaned up. Now it's a two-step equation. Get rid of the smallest x, and then do a two-step equation, okay? Smallest x, subtract x from both sides, right? That's gone. Then you got 4x minus 12 is equal to 4. Then you add 12 to both sides, okay? That's gone. So 4x is equal to 16, and divide by 4, and x, your answer will be 4. Okay? All right, one more of these where you have to clean up the left and the right. Okay, let's clean up the left side completely. 3x plus 5x is 8x, and then you got a minus 4. Is there anything else can I combine? Can I combine these two? No, they're not like terms, okay? So you stop there, and you go to the right side. Okay, I can distribute. I could say 4 times x is 4x, right? And then 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so is there anything I can combine over here at all? No. So now look at holistically the whole problem and say, oh, there's an x on both sides. Let's get rid of the smallest x. So I subtract 4x from here and over here. You do the same thing to both sides, right? Okay, so that's gone, and you've got 4x minus 4 is equal to 12, okay? Then you add 4 to both sides, okay? That's gone. And then 4x is equal to 16. Well, this is a long video. Let me stop right there. Divide by 4 on both sides, and x will be 4. I'm not going to worry about these last two. No big deal. You just solve for x. All right. Anyway, very good. Thank you.